Hi friends, welcome to another video. I have seen an interesting article on the Wall Street Journal today. This article talks about a specific app store for cars in the making. This is an interesting topic, and we know the App Store of Apple and the corresponding Google's Play Store, how it has changed mobile phones. This article specifically talks about General Motors is in the making of such a concept. General Motors is actually rethinking about the traditional software development process to target more innovation and better their current system. Even though the car is a combination of different set of hardwares, software is also a key part of it, and a lot of innovation has went in of late. And General Motors earlier this month has released a set of open source APIs. These open source APIs will help the developers to build the apps that are specifically designed for the cars, and they can integrate it with the connected vehicle hardware, such as they can now control the windows, headlights, infotainment system of vehicles, and so on. Opening up of these sort of APIs to the broad community of developers is a crucial step in gathering to a more Apple-like ecosystem of apps and innovation. Clearly, General Motors is not building an app store which is applicable for all their cars or the cars from different manufacturers and so on. This is a first step in the making of the App Store for cars. Once an ecosystem like an App Store or a Play Store is in place, then the possibilities become endless. General Motors has mentioned that it hopes its APIs will become the industry standard, so that if a developer codes one particular application, it could theoretically run in multiple manufacturers' vehicles. So that was the case with the smartphone industry as well. Earlier, the developers had to code the applications separately for iPhone and for Android and for Windows and so on. And later, there emerged technologies by which one application can be converted to different platforms, or one coded system can be run in multiple platforms. On a similar note, standardization of APIs will help the developers to connect to multiple manufacturers' vehicles. The toolkits which let the developers start coding various applications for cars are not yet available. General Motors believe some sort of an industry collaboration is required to standardize these APIs, or the mechanisms by which the new softwares can connect to the different cars of different manufacturers. Earlier this year, in April, General Motors mentioned that it will replace the infotainment systems from Apple and Google with the GM specific software for some of its models. We all use the Apple CarPlay or corresponding service from Google to connect our vehicles to the internet and to use various applications while we are driving, but GM targets to remove these infotainment systems of Apple and Google from some of its models. And in fact, they have hired a former Apple executive to lead a newly formed innovation unit, which is basically a software unit. In the initial phases, obviously the industry collaboration is going to be tough to get. The other companies like Ford has already have an eye on such programming standards. Especially industry collaboration for standardization needs a lot of effort. Specifically, different manufacturers' vehicles come up with different specifications. So in that sense, standardization of these application APIs may not be that easy to achieve. Car makers may be wary of the fate of the older generation mobile phone companies such as Nokia. A couple of decades ago, we had the smartphone companies like Nokia leading the smartphone or the mobile phone market. The innovation steps they did not take on a timely manner has cost them heavily, and it eventually the market has removed them. So the car makers have the similar sort of fear this time around, after a few decades learning from the mistakes of the earlier generation mobile phone manufacturers. When Apple introduced the App Store in July 2008, it has brought a huge revolution. Google followed Apple to build a similar sort of an app store, which they later renamed as Play Store. And it enabled the millions of developers to come up with innovative solutions, and we all use applications for different purposes. Coming to the core concept of the App Store for the cars, this will open up a whole lot of possibilities for the developers. It will generate new jobs, new possibilities for the technology, new collaboration for the hardware and the software manufacturers, and so on. This looked like an interesting article. I had thought like it might create an interest in some of you. Alright folks, that's about it from the today's video's point of view. Thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for similar sort of updates, and have a nice day ahead for all of you.